This week in popular folk song, I'm going to wash that. This is the hands I'm going to do. What am I doing with my hands? This week in popular folk song, I'm going to wash that sperm right out of my vag. I'm going to wash that sperm right out of my vag. Yeah, gun fingers. Why am I doing gun? Douchebag. My friend American Alex, who is an American, generally describes people who are socially awkward, generally men, bellends, as douchebags. I think I've asked him on at least some occasions, probably when we've been drinking, what the etymology of this particular phrase is, and I'm pretty sure, as far as I remember, that he hasn't been able to tell me. Over the years, I thought maybe it was related to the term douche, as in shower in French. And you know what? Turns out it is! The word starts out in Latin as ductus, meaning leading. That later became doccia and douche in modern Italian and French, respectively. Interestingly, or not, the English equivalent to that is duct, which is an unwieldy word, if I'm honest, and one that we do not use to describe standing under an artificial rainstorm in your bathroom. The word that we use is shower, which is an old English word, has an old English root basically, and it describes light rain, which I think says just about all you can think of, or all you really need to know about English culture versus our Latin brothers and sisters, in that they use the word which it actually is, which is a pipe, a duct, a bit of duct piping with a nozzle on the end, and we name it after a very specific type of rain, which of course leads me to the very specific American tradition of using the word douche. I saw the film Sausage Party quite recently again. I had to watch it twice, because you have to watch everything twice to kind of work out whether it's either any good or not good or whatever. It's a very bizarre film. I recommend it, but it's definitely not for children, and but it does have an essentially good message. Anyway, the main antagonist, the main bad person in that film is a douchebag, both literally and figuratively. Which, when I first saw that film, it led me to Google what a douche actually is. Which led me to the discovery that there's quite a few people in the United States who still have been tricked into believing that they need to insert something into their vaginas to keep it clean, which is apparently a thing. Now, I'm not going to explain to you why douching is bad. I'm not going to mansplain that to you. If you already know it's bad, then good for you. And if you don't know it's bad, then follow the link I'll put about here. That'll take you to a channel called Things Mom, it's not Mum, Things Mom Didn't Tell You, where the lovely presenter tells you exactly why douching is bad. Go and look at it after this, yeah? And maybe at the end. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Anyway, as before, the word douche relates to the tube which leads to the douche bag, which is the assembly which you use in this faux lady garden cleaning process. So the douchebag is then filled with a mysterious cleaning fluid, which presumably is made of hope and broken self-esteem. So how does this relate to the American pejorative term for bellend? Wikipedia thinks that the first pejorative use for the term douchebag was sometime in the 1960s. Etymology Online, that ever golden place which I spend all my time looking at to make these videos, says sometime in 1893, but gives no source or further indication of what that might be or where it might have come from. The best account comes from a blog called Dialect Blog, which again I will link below in the description. It basically says that the pejorative term douche or douchebag was used in a couple of pieces of literature in the 1950s and the 1960s. One of the characters in one of these novels was actually called Douchebag. His surname was Douchebag, and he was a pimp, which, yeah, I mean, that makes him a douchebag, right? Another excellent article, which I will link below in the description, by The Slate, points pretty much in the same direction to a couple of novels of around about the 50s and 60s, but also says an earlier theory which says that it arose out of military slang. So like all of the great insults out there, the etymology and the source of it is quite unclear. What I love about that is that there was some American soldier somewhere who just decided to call someone a douchebag once, and they all found it so funny that they all used it over and over again until it made its way into popular culture. That it was a literal meme in a sense. It caught the imagination of people, and then it travelled as a language virus around the world until some idiot was sat in front of his old iPhone, which barely works anymore, making a video about it. If you have any particularly funny friends who say particularly funny things, then you know, maybe in hundreds of years' time, the words that they're telling you might be in on the ground floor of a joke that becomes a piece of culture. Isn't that amazing? I find that amazing. Anyway, the etymology might not be clear, but the meaning of it is pretty clear, that when you're calling someone a douche, you're not calling them a shower, you're calling them a device which has been made up to make women, to get women to stick it in them, to make them feel better about something which they shouldn't feel bad about in the first place. So yeah, a bell end. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, subscribe or like or something, or do just probably get on with your life, I guess. Bye!